All right, Tim. So tell me just a little about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised here in Austin, and went to college at Texas A&M. I was a finance major, and when I graduated, came back here. Graduated in '09. Started with my dad was a friend with Althea Osborne, and so he said I was going to go work, try and be I had a totally different path in mind, and so Althea gave me the Red Book and totally changed my perspective on what I wanted to do.
Now, your dad's a professional home builder, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been just about my whole life.
Right.
So.
Is that where you were headed?
I wanted to, and I've got some pretty good parents. They told me not. They wouldn't hire any of the kids until we went and did our own thing for a little bit first. And so, as soon as I got that book, I wasn't going back. So that was pretty exciting.
Well, actually, this one is in...
Yeah, I couldn't understand that.
This is in Vietnamese, so you can't read this copy anyway. So you're good on that one, but...
So that was 2009, graduated, came to Keller Williams, and the first bold happened like at the end of 2009, right when I joined.
Now, hold on, I just want to set the stage for this. You've been in real estate how long?
This is my 4th year.
This is your 4th year. So in your 3rd year, you closed almost $34 million in production. And, all right,
Thank you.
which is pretty amazing. It really is.
What do you
I'm
want
very
to
proud of
guide
you.
for this year?
We've done about 45 million, and so hopefully around 60, 65 is what we're hoping for.
In your 4th year. God, you suck. You're bad. You're a loser. All right. So I want to just ask some basic questions, and that is, how do you do that? How do you come out of college? Do you shave? I'm teasing.
Actually, no.
I'm teasing. I know. I was looking at this going, Well, Tony doesn't shave.
Yeah.
He's hoping to next year.
Right.
We got him a razor. He's been practicing. Yeah, I mean, you're a kid. Come on, you're a baby. You're how old?
26.
Golly, man. That's awesome.
Thank
So
you.
how do you do that? Because you got a lot of people here who could be your parents. Some of them may be, you know. But I mean, you got a lot of people here who are a lot older than you, young man, and they're struggling. They're asking this question, how do I do that? Is ignorance bliss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I know you enough to know that you're a very smart young man, but yeah, ignorance is bliss. You didn't have any preconceived notions, did you?
Mm-hmm.
You just came out, you read this thing, and you went, what?
Well, I drew out my 13-year plan, and then I got a coach and realized it was going to only take a lot less time than that.
You got a coach.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Well, yeah. A MAPS coach. MAPS coach, that's right.
Well, no.
So yeah, I was doing
Well, that's
bold.
highly unusual. Everyone who attends Mega Camp got to understand that they're not, 90% of them are not MAPS coach. They're not in coaching, and that doesn't even occur to them.
Well, I mean, I started experiencing results pretty quickly once I was doing bold, and so I realized that I had started listening to what they were saying, so I just kept listening to what they were saying, and so I was at Mega Camp, and I think it was Dave Norberg caught me out there and signed me up, and I didn't even have enough money to pay for a whole year of MAPS coaching, so but I did it anyway, and
When I hired my first coach, I didn't either.
took off. Yeah.
I didn't have the money. Honestly, it was a struggle.
And
Yeah.
MAPS coaching is a deal compared to your first coach.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Well, so you had mentioned that Keller Williams doesn't have a marketing budget or anything. Until probably like a month ago, we haven't spent any money on marketing, but we have spent a lot of money on coaching. And so right now we've got 3 MAPS coaches, and so I mean we spent a ton of money there. What people kind of drop their jaw like you're blowing your money, wasting your money, but it's kind of our lead generation budget in a way. I mean,
60 million in what year are you in your career?
fourth year.
Okay, 60 million is approximately $2 million, isn't it?
Not quite, but
Not quite.
getting there.
On 6? Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice lifestyle.
Yeah.
At 24. Or 26, sorry.
It looks 24. Yeah, it is. So what do you think the tricks are? If you were sitting there advising someone today, Tim, and you were saying, okay, look, you know, I have no agenda here. You asked me, what does it take to at this point get to this level?
So I've been thinking about that a lot because the answer is always lead generate, set appointments, call, whatever. But teaching the class at the Market Center, one of the Ignite classes, I say that over and over and over again. So I started thinking, well, what really is kind of the secret that nobody else gets? And I think that what it is, it's obviously just doing it, right? But what I really think it is that I looked back at my numbers and I saw that almost 70% of the appointments that we set come from follow-up. And so what that says is, I mean, you're working your tail off and you're only setting 30% of the appointments only 30% are coming from the work that you're doing when you lead generate every morning. And so my results that I'm experiencing now and even last year, I know are coming from a lot of the work that I did my first year, my second year, when I was only did 20 deals my first year and 60 deals my second year, but I was working just as hard as I'm working now. Or I was working just as smart as well. I mean, I was doing all the right things. I was making calls for 4 hours a day. I was doing all those things, but I wasn't doing the deals that I'm doing now.
The trick was staying with it.
Staying with it. And now...
It's called the geometric progression.
Right.
That line either goes like that or it goes like that.
Yeah, it's like
when
the
you're doing the
flywheel,
right things in the first year or two, you may not know that it's going to do that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and those ratios are dead on. 60 to 70% of your business will come from your lead follow-up.
Yeah, so I would say the best thing that we do as a team, and it came from what I did as an individual agent, is rigorous lead generation, but just relentless follow-up, just over and over and over again. And we didn't even, that's my team clapping probably.
As your parents.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we didn't even, and this is a dumb thing, this isn't like, obviously I do really well, we prospect really well, it's the one thing we do well. There's a bunch of gaps that we're working on right now. But one of them is marketing. We were prospecting based and prospecting enhanced and no marketing because I haven't even done a drip campaign until like 2 weeks ago. And so literally, people would ask like, well, what do you do from the time you talk to them first until you talk to them next? I'm like, well, we send them a personal note with a business card and then we call them a little bit before they told us to call them.
Yeah.
And but never not call them. I mean, every single day when we come in, you do your 3 hours of lead generation and then, or 4 hours, and then you've got a little bit extra time to make sure you get through all your follow-up calls that you told yourself to do that day. And that never, ever, ever got dropped. So a lot of other things my business fell behind, a lot of other things lacked, and it kicked me in the butt later, but that's the one thing that never...
Yeah, you think about it again, the whole point of the one thing was to point out that the biggest professional lives possible, their days are divided into basically two halves, right? One half is, for real estate sales to be specific, one half is lead gen, and the other half is dealing with all of the opportunity that comes from doing that, right? Listing and selling. And that's it, right?
It's absolutely, we coached together for 120 days, something like that, just to get through that hump. And he's going, oh my gosh, I don't have any time. I do my lead follow-up and I go on 4 or 5 listing appointments a day and my team is crumbling around me. He had the chaos. You know what he did? He didn't stop the lead gen through the chaos.
Oh, that's exactly right.
You never stop through the chaos.
Yeah, you never stop.
I hadn't read the book yet, and Tony pointed me to that chapter towards the end of the book, The Fear of Chaos, and that told me
you're on the right track.
It's all good. I'm doing the right thing because everybody else around me, including people in my office or on my team, or even a lot of people. Everyone's been like incredibly supportive, but a lot of times I feel like all this chaos I'm creating, maybe I need to just stop what I'm doing and just go deal with it. But I never did, and I kind of felt bad about it until I read that, and then I was like, you know what?
No. Yeah, don't do that.
Never
take your foot off.
thief, right?
You never take your foot off of it. Never. Your whole life, you never will.
Yeah.
The trick, though, is the second that you can afford it, you turn to someone else and say, you're the chaos manager.
And that's exactly what he did, right?
Yeah.
That's how you build a big business. I mean, this is called mega camp. That's how you do that. If you take your foot off and start dealing with the chaos, we call that mini camp. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be a lot less than your potential is. Right? What you discover is with leverage, what's the potential?
Right. So Tim, how did you keep that mindset when, like all that stuff was happening around you? Because I know we talked about that. Let's just keep doing what you've been doing.
Coaches and a mentor that, I mean, honestly, I last year at Mega Camp, my one buyer agent who did all of our buyer deals called and said he was leaving to start his own business, and then my EA went and joined him, and they started their own thing, and I was like, didn't really know what to do, but having coaches and a mentor and people surrounding you, keeping you focused on the right way, that's
happens.
the only way I've
Those things happen,
been
and
able
they
to deal
happen
with
for
that,
the
really.
right reasons. They happen for the wrong reasons. They just happen. You can't insulate yourself from those things happening in life. You walk out your front door, those things happen. And when you build a business, particularly again, there are cycles where you learn.
Right.
And you'll learn, and so at some point, someone's going to stay with you for 20 years or 30 years or whatever. It will happen. You will all of a sudden ultimately find those relationships where they intrapreneurially want to succeed, and they like this, and they realize, I can do this. We can both be successful, or the five of us can make a ton, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you'll
on the
find
track
those
you're
people.
on, by the time you're 30, you'll have to find a new career because they'll have seventh level that one.
No seventh level with the expansion.
That's a great concept. So think about that.
Yeah.
No, he's going to take on Joe Rothschild.
Right.
Watch it, Joe. He's out there.
Hour or two a day, right? So I think that's the key is he never stopped doing the one thing, no matter what was
So I don't want to
happening
put you
around
on the
him.
spot, but I am. So when you look out at the other realtors and you see them out there, what are the mistakes that you see? Just in your opinion, you look out there and you scratch your head and you go, what are you doing? Not picking on anybody, but I know you have opinion about it. When you see that, what is it that you see?
I think a lot of people think that they know everything. A lot of people think that there's a lot of people that got up here that did big numbers, and they do a lot of things really, really well, and then there's some things that seem sometimes like they're not all that great. And I know firsthand that's the case with me, and so I feel like maybe for some people, they're kind of hard-headed, don't want to seek advice or learn from other people maybe sometimes because they're doing big numbers. They assume everything they're doing is right. It's kind of one thing that I've noticed.
What else?
The fear of chaos thing, people look at that as I think a lot of people think that you're letting your clients down. You're not holding true to, you're not providing the best service, or you're not doing the right thing by ignoring them for 4 hours in the morning. It's not that you're ignoring them, but I think a lot of people have a negative, they read that and they think, or maybe they don't even read it, they just don't want to live what you're saying to live because the fear of chaos, it seems like it's a negative thing that you're doing to other people. And I think that it could be maybe until you can get it together, but like you said, you just got to hire the chaos manager. And then people just don't lead generate. I mean, that's the bottom line.
It is, isn't it?
They don't.
You don't see a commitment to regular.
There's not a commitment to it. The people lead generate, and they do different things. But there's not a commitment to it, or there's not a commitment to picking one thing. Because I was talking to the team, one person was like, "Man, this social media and this and that and the other," and each person's chime in with, "And then we can do this, and then we can do that," and I'm like, "Man, that's not even part of our business plan. Where does that fit in?" And so I think that another thing is you hear all these amazing ideas, and we know just about every single one of them works, but trying to do them all, you only have so much time, and so I think a lot of people also try and take on maybe too much.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's the mystery for me, Tim. I got in the business like you at 21, 20, I guess I turned 22, got in real estate. And the thing that I didn't understand is why people didn't lead generate. I just didn't understand it. I still don't. I've never understood it. I don't understand it. I don't know. If you're going to work 8 hours, why don't you just get paid for it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't understand why I don't understand it. So I have no clue. I can't rationalize it. I can't explain it away. In my personal life, I mean, in the people around me, I don't tolerate it.
Yeah.
That's a standard that I'm unwilling to tolerate.
Yeah, and sometimes people on the receiving end. I was talking about this the other night. I said, why would Gary Keller fly from Austin, Texas to Boulder, Colorado to meet with me? I didn't put together that you weren't there to meet with me. You were there to recruit me.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't get that piece, and I'm going.
Because I'm sly and slick.
Yeah, you were. But I'm just saying, sometimes we don't get that. I mean, you have to do that. I mean, that's
Well,
how the
my
business
goal,
works.
Coach, was I was planning for 10 years later.
Right.
What I understood was, and I think Tim gets this already, is if you intend to be in business a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, or 30 years from now, you plant seeds. You literally plant it, and some of it you're going to harvest this year, some next year, some 5 years, some 10 years. You just want to plant enough out there so that you have those choices or opportunity for some of that to come about. Otherwise, you're starting over. And the beauty of once you start is you only have to start once in your life. That's the beauty of it. If you follow up and if you do the right things, you don't have to start over.
The future value.
Tim will never have to start over.
Right.
He never has to start over again.
Yeah. The future value of the clients you've created, Tim, over the next 20 years, is there's so much wealth attached to that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. I mean, we've created a lot of this stuff over the last 4 years through expireds. I mean, 70% of our business basically is expired. So we've created it through that. Now, if we want to stay in business, I know it's repeat and referral. If we really want to last, that's got to be the biggest portion of our business.
Well, not if you want to last. If you want to continue to build and build and build and build and build, you're gonna pick your trifecta sources of lead gen. You're gonna systematize them. You're gonna make sure that it happens, and
You build your
You're
business
right.
on expires. Austin doesn't have any expires. They all sell.
There's still some.
60
We
million.
go a little
now.
further to find
Yeah.
them.
all right, we're out of here.
All right.
You're awesome, dude.
Thank you very
We
much.
love you. You're an inspiration.
Great job.
All right,
Tim.
guys.
Great job.